What's good, everybody? It's Jay Coffee Talk, covering sports, music, news, current events, much, much more. Subscribe, hit the bell, stay up on the channel. But we got some news coming out of the hip hop world. The 6ix9ine testimony, in federal court, and I'm sure you guys saw yesterday. The news came out. It was all over the headlines, trending that Tekashi 6ix9ine had mentioned Jim Jones during his testimony. The prosecutor asked him about Jim Jones. Is he Treyway? Who is he? You know what I'm saying? 6ix9ine talked a little slick. Said, yeah, he's a retired rapper. And said yes, he is a Treyway member. And I was like kind of stumped about it. And a lot of other people I saw, everyone was like tweeting, posting on Instagram, everything. Why 6ix9ine talking about Jimmy? What's Jimmy got to do with this? What's going on? And I was one of them as well. Follow me on Twitter, guys. You'll see my tweets popping up on the screen there at J Coffee Talk on Instagram, or I'm sorry, on Twitter. But I was like, what does Jimmy got to do with this? This is crazy, Well, I'm sure now you guys have heard the audio. You could go on DJ Academics YouTube channel. He put out a video playing this audio of Jim Jones, speaking on 6ix9ine, and it was from some news that had broke earlier. There was like a transcript that leaked out, maybe like 6-8 months ago or something like that, not long after 6ix9ine was picked up, after the now infamous Power, I forget what station he was on, but where he came on the radio and said, he was denouncing Treyway. They've been stealing from him. He's done with them. He's just doing him. And that's kind of where everything unraveled after that. The feds went and picked 6ix9ine up because they found out he was in danger. And it was Jim Jones on the phone having that conversation about, we need to go violate this dude. He's wilding. Why is he talking about us? Who does he think he is? He never put in no work. This dude's a clown. Y'all better go get at him. And it's just crazy to know that was Jimmy. You know what I mean? Now, this brings a lot to my mind here. First off, it seems on this phone call, let me know what you guys think, but it seems like Jim Jones was kind of like dude was his little homie, I guess. You know what I mean? Like, he was kind of giving him instruction and advice, and the dude, was like adhering to it. Like, it seemed like Jim Jones was clearly, the one who had more status. Like, so we've seen Jim Jones, claiming blood for a long time in the rap game. And I personally never knew any of Dipset was blood back in the day. Like, when I used to, because, Jim Jones was never a rapper originally. He just was kind of like Cameron's hype man. You know what I mean? He was like Freaky Zeke before Freaky Zeke. Unless Freaky Zeke was around then, I don't know. But, Jimmy was always on the scene. And I didn't really, wasn't aware until these dudes were, saying they had gang ties, until the Come Home With Me album by Cameron, which I gotta say, one of my gotta be my favorite Cameron album. Let me know what y'all think about that though. But it's just Jimmy's been on the scene for a minute, and there's been a lot of people who always kind of said Dipset was fraud. These dudes is bozos, but I don't know, man. It seems that Jimmy must have some kind of status. As we know, these dudes involved in this whole 6ix9ine situation weren't playing around. They were putting in a lot of work out there. So, the fact that he was kind of coming to Jim Jones, it just kind of seems like Jim Jones definitely has some status. I remember back when Jim Jones did that. He did a track on a game mixtape called Gangs in New York, and he spit a verse on there like all about the history of the Bloods in New York and how it happened and different things like that. But I don't know. Jimmy's always been screaming, that he was affiliated and he was a Blood. But nowadays, you don't hear as much from Jim Jones. He's doing a lot of other stuff outside of putting out music. And I don't know, man. He's had problems with the law, but he must have been smart about the way he does things as far as his gang ties. Because you haven't really seen him get in trouble for anything like this, on a federal level. And that's what, if you're, a gang member and you're moving around doing things out there in the streets like that, what you really fear. Because if they, consider y'all to be a criminal enterprise, you can get that RICO charge and it can be some serious trouble. But Jimmy's avoided all this, so it was kind of reckless on his part to be talking on the phone like this, right? But that brings me to another question. With all these, phone taps and everything else like that, as we know, Treyway really had, surveillance on him. Like, they had heavy surveillance on Treyway and all these dudes around 6ix9ine. How did Jim Jones not end up getting picked up or anything like that? Kind of raises the question. I don't know. I ain't saying it was something, someone else might say it. Maybe Jim Jones is running his mouth or something like that. I mean, that's just a heavy speculation. But I'm just surprised to see that Jimmy wasn't picked up. But you never know. He could have dished out the good money for a really good attorney. For all we know, he could have been brought in for questioning, and his attorney was like, "You don't have what you need to link my client to this case." Like with these RICO charges. These RICO cases, man, that's your ass if you get one. Maybe they didn't have enough on Jimmy to place him around, all this other stuff going on here. But it was just so crazy to me. Like, the one dude is saying to Jim Jones, yo, we're supposed to go to talk to TMZ to let him know, 6ix9ine wasn't really ever anything. He was just kind of a nobody. We put him on. We did this. We did that. And it just seemed like they were so concerned about what TMZ thought. And something I spoke on the other day in a video, actually regarding the 6ix9ine stuff too, is TMZ is where a lot of the people get their information for. But you know what I mean? When it comes to the gangs and the streets and stuff like that, they're not supposed to give a fuck about what TMZ or blogs like something what I'm doing now or anything like that has to say about any of them. You know what I mean? In the gang stuff that they got going on, that's supposed to be strictly for the streets. So it's just kind of strange to me that the dude's telling Jimmy, yo, we're going to go down to TMZ and get this together. And Jim Jones is like, nah, man, you don't need to go to TMZ. Let Shotty handle that, and tell Shotty to be very articulate how he chooses his words to let them know that 6ix9ine wasn't really, didn't have no status like that. Like, that's just strange to me why they care so much about what TMZ thinks. You know what I mean? I just find that to be kind of strange. But I don't know, man. So anyway, some other stuff they spoke on in court. They were talking about 6ix9ine and going over basically everything he've ever said on a podcast or that he put out on Instagram or anything like that. And what's kind of crazy to me is, something that they spoke about was how 6ix9ine was always trolling. And he admitted that he was like the king of trolling. He knew how to, go viral on the internet and get attention on him and everything like that. And everyone, even people who hate 6ix9ine, as far as rap and hip hop goes, all give the man his props that he knew, like, as far as like being an internet social media marketing type dude, he was brilliant. And you really can't take that away from him, nonetheless, that he's a snitch and everything like that. But what blows my mind about all this is, these dudes were really going out and putting in work over the shit that 6ix9ine was saying when he was trolling. Like, when he started some of these rap beefs, like with Chief Keef and other dudes, by trolling, and then they're going out and committing real crimes, putting in work over that. Like, that makes no sense to me. Like, keep the trolling. I don't know. So that just kind of leads me to believe that, and we've seen other evidence point to this, that a lot of these gang members, right, it was friendly extortion with 6ix9ine, but they almost kind of ended up fighting with each other over who was going to get, the bigger payoff from 6ix9ine, to the point where, they kind of were like, yo, I'll go do this for you, Tekashi, to get in his good graces. And I kind of think that's what we seen going on, like, these dudes were fighting with each other to be 6ix9ine's number one, and some of them were kind of sucking up to 6ix9ine. So I don't know, but it just makes you wonder, had 6ix9ine not got sick of all this, got sick of the friendly extortion, it might have not started becoming not so friendly. It might have started getting a little aggressive, and had he not went on there and denounced Treyway and said, I'm done with these dudes, get them out of here, it's just me. How long would have everything went on for? Because that's kind of what made the arrest happen, because they got this the feds became, they knew now that people were out to get 6ix9ine because they were very, very offended by what he said. So I wonder how much deeper all this would have got. But that's all I really got, guys. Shay Coffee Talk. Jim Jones, was slipping, was on the wire there. Let me know what you guys think about that and everything else that I touched on in this video. Thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you on the next video. I also cover sports, other music, news, current events, NFL, and much, much more. I'm out of here. Peace.